In three, two, one. Welcome to the Modest Sports Show, home of your college athlete, where we are player led and player focused. And guys, tonight we are back with another edition of the Modest Sports Show. I hope you guys have been doing well since the last time I saw you. Right, we're doing these pretty much weekly, and I'm glad that I'm back to record frequently like I'm supposed to be, and just delivering TMSS's opinion on the college football world as we continue to make our way through this college football season. So, with that being said, tonight we are taking a look at Georgia versus Tennessee and how Georgia went on the road to Neyland Stadium and got a dub. Now, this weekend, Corey, right, I was out and about kind of moving around. And so I tried to do my best to watch a majority of these games. Uh, I really got a chance to probably catch like the first half of the Georgia versus Tennessee game, as well as a few minutes of the second half, midway through the second half. And then I also got a chance, unfortunately, to watch Florida and DJ Lagway's struggles with LSU. That was a very heartbreaking game for me to watch, man. Because, like I said, I'm not a Florida fan. And, for those of you who don't necessarily know me personally, I'm a very optimistic guy. So I love to see teams be successful. I just like to see people be successful, right? And especially when it pertains to the game of football, I love to see young guys uh, live out their dreams and make their football journeys be everything that they want them to be. But I also call a spade. In Florida, DJ Lagway, man, it did not look good. Of course, I hope it's a learning opportunity for him. And like I said, I really want Billy Napier to be successful too. But man, at the way that this season has been going, I do not see him being in Gainesville too much longer. Um, like, and it's not even the ranked opponents; it's more the like losing the USF, like we talked about on the last episode, things like that. I also want to add that I think he handled that situation with Lagway. At no point, and granted, everybody coaches different, but at no point in the game did he yank DJ Lagway like, man, what the are you doing? He didn't really grill him like that. He you could tell that he is trying to build a young man up and not tear him down, because that was frustrating to watch, even for me. And I have no vested interest in UF football, but that was difficult to watch. So, um, prayers to Florida. I hope they're able to pull it off and get it together over the course of the season. But tonight, like I said, we're gonna watch this Tennessee. We're gonna go through some film of this Tennessee and Georgia game. We're gonna break it down. I'm gonna tell you what I think. I'll tell you this. For starters, I did not think that Georgia and Tennessee, I did not think, or no, should I say, that either one of those teams would come out the way that they did this past Saturday. I did not see it. Tennessee and Joey Aguilar is much. I didn't know what I expected of him. I had no prior knowledge of him. He was somebody who we knew was coming from UCLA and had a long journey, but I was not familiar with his game, as the young people like to say. And then Gunnar Stockton from Georgia. I mean, we saw what he could do last season, but he didn't really pose any vertical threats to anybody's defense. And so I was kind of unsure in how he was going to fare this season when they start to push the ball more downfield. And so that was interesting to see. But both of these teams came out swinging, and man, let's just look into this film. I'll hold some of this to when we get done with it. So just some things that I noted in this game. I know versus earlier or last week when we did USF versus Florida, I was more looking at third down, what USF did on third down versus what Florida didn't do on third downs. On this particular episode with this game, shots, explosives, a lot of them, especially from Tennessee. And so I'm just gonna take a look at this offense, this Josh Heupel offense, and how they attack this Georgia defense, but also how was Georgia able to overcome and get a win on the road. Let's get started. So here, just opening this game up, Tennessee did a great job. They did a great job early and just establishing pace, but also going, switching it up. Like they did a great job going slow tempo, going up tempo, trying to keep this Georgia defense on their heels. And then, like I said, early in this game, just I think Joey Aguilar did a good job throwing the intermediate ball. I think that's something that the Tennessee offense struggled with last season with Nico Iamaleava. I think I said that right. They struggled with that last year. Nico is a great quarter. I think I won't say great. I'll say he's an above average quarterback. Okay. However, right, a lot of room for development, and I think he could have developed a little bit sooner, staying in this offense with Josh Heupel in Knoxville. But of course, Aguilar in Tennessee, or Aguilar and Nico make the trade. Uh, Joey comes to Tennessee. Nico goes to UCLA. And I actually just saw something by Frontline where they posted front office sports where they posted pretty much how it was a bad business move in this NIL space with Nico to go from Tennessee to UCLA, as far as his NIL deals and stuff like that. And all that is mere he say, she say, mere he say, she say. But the truth is, Joey comes in to Tennessee. He looks much more polished. And it just seemed like this offense is running a little bit smoother than it was a year ago. So another player of the game who just caught that intermediate crosser is Chris Braswell. Balled out over the course of this game, was a big target for Tennessee. And right now, just after a few weeks, a couple weeks through the season, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Georgia, those three teams offensively have been some of the higher power offenses in the SEC. And I do not see many defenses being able to stop them. And right here, we're going to see this quarterback power, or excuse me, this quarterback counter. Joey Aguilar here in this red zone. But I think just early in this game, Georgia didn't have an answer. Didn't have an answer for Tennessee's offense. We're gonna see this guard right here get a good pull and kick, and this running back with a good lead and kick as well. He's gonna get in here and kick as well, and then it's just up for Joey to punch it in. Like, that's great. Just simple zone down from everybody else. Simple keep. Stop it right there. Just kind of watch how it plays up. You got this here, this zone there. He's man here. This guy's free. He's going to attack this backside here. Play's going away, so he's out to play. Then we got this guy coming around to seal this edge, this lead to come up and seal there, and he's coming out right there for this quarterback read. All right, I actually got that. It's actually the opposite way. Guard took the first guy out. Running back took the second guy in. Kick here. And and even this linebacker does a decent job scraping over top. Almost, maybe if that ball was on the 7-yard line instead of like the 4, he makes that play and kind of holds that goal line up for him. But unfortunately, it ain't how the cookie crumbled. Yeah. The running back could have did a better job at sealing them. Just for, if we're not on the 3 or 4 yard line, what was there on the 4.5 yard line? But like I said, good job from this guard to seal this guy. He's working here to seal him. Could have did a better job, but hey, it is what it is. All right. Moving on. Georgia offense. The one thing that I liked about this Georgia offense, is that they came out, right? I think Tennessee goes on a 70-yard drive, if I'm not mistaken, on that first drive. Georgia comes right out. What they do? They say Q. They say Q. And I would say it if we weren't on TMSS, but I got to keep it clean. But they pretty much say Q. We're coming into Neyland. We don't give a damn. We don't give a damn. Crowd is hype. Everybody yelling. We don't care. We coming in, shot on the first play of the drive. First play of the drive, taking a shot. That's what kind of game it's gonna be, and I like that. Mike Bobo putting a statement on his opening drive. And the one thing that I can say too is both of Georgia and Tennessee's opening drives pretty much looked identical. Explosive, like one explosive play with a few plays, intermediate stuff, and just going down. I enjoyed this. I love this pickup. I was uncertain about. Let's go back here. I'm sorry, I went back up. So I was uncertain about this pickup. This is Zachariah Branch. He's coming in from USC, and he brings experience. Of course, we know as a return specialist, and that's actually kind of odd, being that his majority. And how can I say this? With Lincoln Riley being more of an offensive minded coach and him having a weapon like Zachariah Branch's lack of production, and I'm not sure who we point to with that because I didn't follow USC football a lot last season or in seasons of the past. But for as speedy and as twitchy as Zachariah Branch is, he didn't make much of an impact offensively. We saw a majority of his impact in the return game. And so this was in the offseason. I was sitting in DFW Airport when the news had broke that Zachariah Branch and his brother were committing to UGA. And when I seen it, I was kind of uncertain. I was like, because I knew that Beck was leaving. And I think at the time I knew Beck was leaving and Gunnar Stockton was going to be the quarterback. Was unsure what Gunnar Stockton was going to look like at quarterback, distributing him the ball. And so, yeah, that was, this game, Zachariah Branch had a coming out party, UGA, and I enjoyed watching it. So, more power to him. All right, went back a couple plays, too much. Okay, let's see. Maybe this is gonna make me more efficient. All the starting and stopping and stuff. Okay. All right, so here, and and it's crazy because here they are on the 6-yard line, and the exact same thing. We got a counter. We have a YH or a Y running back counter, whatever you want to call it. All right, we have this. We got both of these sniffers, tight ends, whatever you want to call it, coming over for this tight end counter with the read option, with a fake option, with a read option, counter coming backside or front side, however you want to call it. And it's just a simple quarterback lead. Gunnar Stockton's going to keep it right here, right? Got his guys getting out here to his edge, trying to reach anything that they got. They pick up any work, sealing off the edges. They did a good job at finding guys, too, and making the right reads on their blocks. And Gunnar Stockton just be a ball player, run that right in. That's why I say identical drives. Identical drives. So here we are. Tennessee getting the ball back. Shots. Chris Braswell, number 17. And I know he's been on this roster, I know for at least his second season. I like how he moves at his size. Seems like a bigger receiver. About 6'3", 6'4", it looks like, somewhere in there. But just go, it's simple. Just simple work goes up and over this defender. And I think this was a mismatch, just per listening to the analysts on this game. I think this guy here was a freshman. I think he's a true freshman. And he gave him hell majority of the game, the times that he was matched up on him. Simple. Chris Braswell had a great game. I think he went for like $150, six or something, however many receptions, 2 or 3 tuds, $150 receiving. Went crazy. All right. And this is where, like I said, I think just Tennessee was effective all game, just getting the ball to their playmakers in space and doing well in the intermediate run game. This is another area that I think Tennessee showed a lot of improvement just by, it's these kind of throws that you never know what type of quarterback you have until you see these kind of plays, right? Being able to improvise. Got a simple play action pass right here. Makes a defender miss. but does it very calmly, right? Has very great pocket awareness, making this defender miss, making him miss, getting outside the pocket, right? Making this throw on the run, or like to his off, making a throw to his offhand side on the run and delivering a dot right there on the sideline. So it's that kind of stuff where, especially I feel like when you have when you're in a Josh Heupel offense, um, you it pays to have a quarterback who I feel like Joey and Nico have the same athleticism, right? But I think he brings a little bit more throwing the football. Another play action pass, another shot to none other than Mr. Chris Braswell. That's 2 touchdowns through, 1 quarter of football. Zachariah Branch. This was a play that I feel like easily could have turned to 6. Easily. But I think this referee here, this defender does a good job at getting his hand on Zachariah's thigh board right there, bringing Gator rolling him, bringing him down. But man, that's just a great pitch and catch to end the first quarter. All right, so let's dive a little bit deeper here. So here we got Tennessee showing a 7-man front, right? Playing man everywhere else. It's a 3rd and 7 situation. So, of course, pressure is coming. However, all 7 of these guys are not going to come. Somebody's going to drop. Somebody's going to be a bingo dropper. Who is it going to be? All 7 guys came. All right, but who's going to be free? Our free rusher right here off the edge. This guy here. And this play is actually going to be a touchdown. These guys did a great job stock blocking. Just put my guy here in a very tough position. Because, of course, this is Zachariah Branch. And so we know the rest, man. He's just twitchy, man. Very, very fast player. Just fast and quick at the same time. So great screen. They ran that screen to perfection in that 3rd and 7 situation. Here we are in another 3rd and 7 situation, but Tennessee with the ball. Now, I remember this play because I make these cut-ups. I use ESPN. I make these cut-ups myself. This play right here, Aguero, number 8, Aguero. I found out in this last season before last one, that he is a ball player. They'll do different things with him. He has another play later in the game where he's going to be playing like more of a post safety. He can also play this underneath guy like a nickel. And just I want to go back because I want you all to see his route recognition and understand how he plays the game. Very, very cerebral football player. So they're gonna run this. This guy's gonna come out the boundary. He's gonna motion out the boundary, okay, and get here. Try to run this drag. Okay. So it's kind of like they're trying to free this guy up. And this is their route. This is where they're trying to get to in this concept. 3rd and 7. They just ran a simple, some type of deep crosser with this number 2 from that side. Okay, or actually a seam. He's gonna run that seam, and all they're trying to do is get Aguero to give up some ground. Maybe they're hoping or expecting that he'll kind of run underneath that route. Somebody, this safety or somebody else out the picture will bracket this guy. But Aguero does a great job, man. Does a great job coming off that route, delivering the boom. Does a great job. Like he does a good job at pretty much playing center field, not necessarily overcommitting himself or committing too soon. Comes off that seam, comes here and makes a play. 4th down. That's a beautiful play, man. That's a beautiful play. Okay. Let's look at the red zone. We're looking low red zone situation right here, 2nd and goal. Okay. And I want to say Tennessee bottles this play up, if I'm not mistaken. Tennessee does a good job. And I think over the past couple years, this kind of defensive effort from Tennessee has kind of been a little less than what we've seen in years past. But Tennessee this game, right, they stepped up in some of these situations. We got this bare front on. Got 5 defenders here with manned up, man here. We got man here. I'm sure, excuse me. Man here, tight end goes out. And I'm sure these guys are all just playing, just pretty much falling back for anything. If it goes here, they're falling. If we go here, similar like we did on the score there, everybody's going to be playing over the top. They're playing over the top. And they just do it. The player of this play, is going to be right here. Now, this tight end is supposed to be zoning down and sealing that so that way we can carry out this fake. But my guy right here in this, 8 technique does a good job at just blowing this play up, right? And I granted, I really want to say he had a good idea of what was coming because he's just going to spill this play entirely. Does a good job just spilling this. And truthfully, I think this tight end here could have got a chip on this guy to kind of help this play develop. But he does a good job at just not only spilling this play, but taking this tight end, taking Oscar Delp here, who I think this is, just ramming him right into the lap of this running back and essentially this quarterback. And also, let's give kudos to this guy. He's backside. He gets there in a hurry. He makes that play happen fast. So that's good stuff from this Tennessee defense created TFL. So 3rd and goal right here. 3rd and goal. Okay, they're gonna go to this bunch set, this bunch nub. Okay, with another condensed split to the boundary. And pretty much here it just looks like Tennessee pretty much going to be in their base package. If I could ever get it back right. All right. Yeah, Tennessee is just going to be right here. Pretty much in a 3-man front with 4 linebackers, 4 secondary defenders. Tennessee bringing some pressure right here through this B gap. But my running back does a good job picking this guy up. I feel like Gunnar Stockton, this was his guy right here. If he goes, granted, got eyes there. So I'm sure he's trying to hit whoever that is on this out route. But, if he snaps his head back, sure he can get this ball in here and pick up something. Just kind of in a hurry. Then we have another delayed blitzer coming in from that linebacker position. He's going to plug. Does a good job of getting picked up too. But in spite of that, Gunnar Stockton just being able to make plays with his legs does a good job, advancing the ball. Unfortunately, they kick a field goal out of that. Another shot, but this is what I was talking about. Of course, none other than your number 8, Aguero. I gotta learn my man's first name. All right, just a simple simple 10 personnel, double G, and we got Aguero here. Like I said, playing the middle of the field. This is a middle of the field close because they're in a one high, really a one high. This is really a one high safety. This guy here, he's not playing at the same depth. So we're really going to be man here, man here, man here, man there. And this is just a cover one man. And this guy, Guerrero, just being a ball player, playing that middle of the field, robbing anything that comes, to his keys. Okay, let's buzz through some of this. Let's buzz through it, man. I'm not gonna bore y'all to death. I know this. You got to be a real football lover to want to watch this stuff, man. But this is how you win games. Great quarterback design. Great design quarterback run right there. They're gonna motion out to an empty. Get some guards pulling in there. Georgia did a good job running the ball this game. In the years past, we have not seen them be and have such a successful run game. I think the past couple years, they just haven't had a guy that really, stood out amongst the others in their running back room, but they got back to that. Now, this is a play that really stood out to me, okay? So here they're going to run this little drive concept, okay? So this guy here is going to run this little mesh. This guy here is running this dig, and we call that a drive concept. It's called drive. And this dig is going to slip on his route. He's going to slip on his route. Otherwise, it's a catchable ball. Joey does a good job placing the ball where it's supposed to go. But he's just going to slip on his route. And we got somebody waiting right there on it. So nothing, I can't really blame Joey right there. Can't really blame him. But right here, they're playing 3-on-2. So 3-on-2. This is our apex defender. Okay. He's apex between number 2 right here and his tackle. And so anything that comes here, right, he's spilling that to these guys. He's playing out. He's fitting out. But like I said, this drive concept. And it just come right to him. Just slips on his route. So since Georgia has got the ball, they went and scored. And they went up one possession. Got another shot right here. Now this was a sexy play, man. Chris Braswell, this cornerback here is surely in position to at least bat the ball down, right? But Chris Braswell, being the ball hawk that he is, goes up over the defender, walks in for another touchdown. It's a beautiful ball. Beautiful ball. All right, let's take a look at this right here. So they're going to send 5 right here. This guy's coming in late on the blitz. This running back here is going to pick this up. And of course, right, Zachariah, they've been, I think what he hit at this point in the game, he's had a couple of explosive screens. So that sets them up later in this game to fox this guy here and run this route. So they're gonna do a good job. And by the time he was even, number 4 was out the play. And to be honest, I feel like number 16, I mean, Camp Baldwin does a great job going up to high point the football. But I feel like right here, if he just runs, just run, get your head around and use, your athleticism, find the ball, track the ball. I think he gets, because I mean, when he turns around and tries to high point this football, and there's really no reason for him to high point the football, right? It's just kind of like knowing where you're at on the field. Slows him down and he gets some, but I think if he keeps running and he tracks that ball here, finds that ball, I think he picks up more than even this. Can make a better play. That's just my opinion, though. So there, Georgia goes down. They kick a field goal. None other again than Chris Braswell. Something simple there. Tennessee with a great run. Simple zone. Hold on. This is the pass. Okay, so we're right here. Okay, so they're going to just pull this guard. This is the guard, simple guard pull. Coming here to seal again. GT, excuse me. Guard tackle pull. Get back. I said I need to get a clicker. All right, so this is a guard tackle pull. So you call that a GT, simple. Guard tackle. These guys are pulling. Everybody else zone, 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 zone. They're zoning down. And they're pulling and kicking. They do a good job of picking those guys up. And the running back does a good job at creating that explosive play. Great ball placement, man. Joy, he has a nice touch. He got all the intent. He got all the things you need, to win in the SEC. Size, athleticism, speed, all that good stuff. So it was good watching him play. This was a very pivotal moment in the game, right? So they're at third and 14. This edge does a good job bending and running this loop, creating a turnover. Does a great job, man. Don't give up on the play. I think he even took on a chip block. I think Cash Jones even helped chip him right here. Tried to get a piece of him, or shit. I think he could have done a better job helping his tackle out right there. But he just gets beat. He's gonna work that loop. Does a good job getting that ball out. Okay. And everybody else just falls on it. Now, I think here let's look at where they're at on the field. Because that was such a pivotal possession for Georgia or for Tennessee right there. So they get the ball on their, was it 35? Tennessee is going to get the ball here on that 36, 30, 33, 34 yard line. But they ended that next possession with them on offense in a field goal. Georgia, we got to give kudos to Georgia's defense because we look at the time and possessions left in the game. They're up 5. Another touchdown puts them up 2 possessions. Okay. But being that they made them kick a field goal, they were able to keep it a 1 possession game. And then Georgia, the clutchness of Gunnar Stockton, 2nd and 12. He goes out, he works the clock. Okay, another screen. These guys are doing a good job controlling clock, controlling game, right? Trying to go down here and score so we can win the game. And number 16, what I said that he should have done on that last catch he had where he goes from high points, he does a better job and a great job right here finding this ball in the air, tracking it, going up, scoring a touchdown when the game is on the line. 2 minutes to go. And then right here, they're going to motion in Zachariah Branch from this boundary for this 2-point conversion. Okay. He's just going to run this stop pivot route. Okay. Just for an easy 2-point conversion, tie this game up. And kudos to him for his spatial awareness because, catching that ball right there on that sideline, you don't catch that, that's game. You don't catch it in bounds. So I want to credit Tennessee here too. Joey Aguilar working the sidelines, going through his reads, going through his progressions, getting the ball where it needed to go each time. Okay. They did a great job. They did a very great job in setting their kicker up for a field goal. Okay. Gonna see a few more plays here, but they got the ball out quick. Kitzelman, I think that is. 43-yard attempt, 7 seconds to go in the game. And Tennessee got the chance to put it away. And they just too outside, right? Just too outside. So now we're going into overtime at 38-38. Joey once again does a good job distributing the ball. We got to catch that right there. They did a good job at all game with the play action, intermediate throws, and stuff like that. Our kicker comes back out, does a good job, gets us up a field goal. Now it's Georgia's turn to go out here. And this singular play right here really set them up on this drive. They're going to run a simple counter. Or excuse me, a simple misdirection play right here. With this guard pulling. Just going to get outside. They do a good job blocking. Number 22 just does not get there fast enough. He kind of gets washed inside with all this. And I think maybe had he not started working at a flat angle, maybe he kept going here. Probably would have had a better chance of making this play. I guess speed kills, Speed kills. Yep. And that really just set them up on this drive, man. They're going to have 2 rushes right here. They had 2. I think I left the other one out. But this is the game winner. They go. Georgia gets a win on the road at Tennessee. And so my final thoughts on this game were in terms of how it plays out for the SEC this season. I am kind of, on the thought that Oklahoma, like I mentioned earlier, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Georgia are all very qualified candidates. In terms of offense, all very qualified candidates to win the SEC this year. They are extremely high-powered in the things that they can do. I want to put LSU in there, but LSU kind of dropped the egg on Florida this past weekend. Had too many times where they were too stagnant, and I feel like they are much better than that. I feel like they are much better than that. However, have not shown it. So that's that for LSU. Alabama played Wisconsin this weekend. Offense looked a lot better. Had Jeremy. He looked great like he has each weekend. Go watch that episode if you haven't. I'm going to always plug my guys. For LSU, go watch Tyree Adams. For Mississippi State, go watch Zachary Tillman. For Vanderbilt, go watch Trent Hudson. Okay. But these are all my SEC guys. So go check those guys out on the Modern Sports Show. But aside from that, like I mentioned, these teams, the SEC, I see Georgia, Tennessee, Oklahoma right now. And I'm just saying, based on the teams I've seen them play, Oklahoma played a pretty decent Michigan defense, and they were able to move the ball, score the ball. So, you know, Tennessee and Georgia play one another. Texas has not looked like, oh, I'm sorry, Arch Manning. He just has not looked like we expected him to look this preseason. It's not to say he won't get to a point where he does and he gets things kind of going, but some of the level of competition he's been playing, he has not looked like, somebody who is at the top of the SEC. Like he was in preseason Heisman talk. So, just gotta continue to let the season play out. Aside from that, Tennessee, Texas. I mean, we're gonna look at what Vanderbilt is doing. Vandy, quiet, undefeated team right now. I think they go into LSU this weekend. So that's gonna be a good game. LSU is definitely gonna get tested with that Vandy team. They got a lot of moxie, a lot of grit, a little chip on their shoulder, especially with Diego Pavia at quarterback. So we know how that plays out. But aside from that, I'm enjoying this SEC season thus far. I'm looking forward to as we continue to roll along each week. Of course, like I said, gonna have these lives coming to you, different teams, my perspectives, what you're thinking, X's and O's, because I think it's important, right? In this day and age, and just in general, to actually know and understand what's going on the field, to give a logical, valuable, rational perspective on our opinions and like what we're saying. You gotta know what's going on the field and understand how it all plays out, how it all plays together. Here on the Modest Sports Show, we got the X's and O's component. We have the ex-player, former player component, and how I see the game and um, you know, the positions I've been in as a player and how just stuff like that. So got that component on this show, and then we also got the real. I'm a realist. I like to because I feel like honesty and truth is the only way that you can continue to get better, improve, and develop. And so we of course have that component on the show. So guys, I hope that you liked it and enjoyed this episode tonight. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Always do those things. Comment, comment, comment so I can interact with you on the channel. Get down in the comments. Of course, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and all those places. That's where you can find me. And I love to interact with you there as well. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Let's get ready to watch some Monday Night Football tonight. And I will see you on the next episode of the Modest Sports Show. I hope you have a great evening.